Hey, thank you for coming by Tori Magoo 44 again. It is the day before Easter. People are celebrating Passover. I hope you're having an excellent weekend. Yesterday, Anderson Cooper has been very good at doing these interviews with ex-Scientologists and in Scientology giving their response to various different things that have been said by the ex-Scientologists. The people that he's interviewing are mostly executives, people that were high up in the church, and they have left, and they're now speaking out. And a couple of key things I just wanted to clear up. The wives that are still in and are now quote-unquote high-ranking members are saying that these people, their husbands, are flat-out liars, right? And they're only doing it to get attention. Now, first of all, you can follow Tori Chrisman. I'm just a public, right? I was in the Sea Org briefly, but they routed me out because of epilepsy and taking medication, which later they said was totally wrong. I was on staff, which they canceled non-Sea Org, so I ended that. And then I was in Scientology for 30 years, working my way up. It's like a pyramid. I got up to the second to the top, OT7. My husband was OT8, right? And it didn't work. So after a long haul on it, I was 7 years, a lot of things happened, which I've explained in videos. I woke up, I left, I escaped, right? They flew in my auditor and my husband, right, to handle me. It didn't work. My auditor said he's going to go check my folders and come back. He said, "Oh my God, what's happened to you? It's the worst thing that could happen to anyone on the planet. We're going to fix it, Tori, for no cost." Now, when I was in, would they help me at all? Would they fix it? Hell no. But now that I'm out and I might speak out, oh my God, we'll fix everything for free, no cost. Whereas when I was in, they were going to charge me $25,000 to redo what they'd screwed up on. They're really good at always talking about responsibility, but when it comes to them screwing up, never, nada, not at all. Okay? So I said to Bill Yachty, my auditor, you know what? You could pay me $1 million. No, I'm done. Absolutely done. Okay? And from that day forward, which was a couple days after I'd left, some anonymous person started posting how I was a liar, right? Now remember, I, Tori, opened up those phony accounts. So I know the game, right? I worked with Yachty. Did I know I was stopping free speech on the net? No. That's how totalitarianism works, Anderson. I hope you watch these videos, but it's very insidious. You can say, why didn't they call the police? And that's a very logical question to ask. Why didn't they call the police? But when you're in a mind control cult, which Scientology is, and it is totalitarianism where everything is factioned off, I, opening up these phony accounts, did not know they were on the internet basically trying to spam down anything against L. Ron Hubbard, David Miscavige, the Sea Org, Scientology, right? And Yachty had opened up, with these phony accounts that I'd made, 10 different accounts. And he told me this. He was very proud of it. I have 10 different accounts that I use. And he just works them. One guy's really witty, one guy's really nasty, one guy knows all about the tech, one lady's this, he pretends he's all these different identities, right? But they're always people you can count on. You will never meet in person, and you can never talk on the telephone. So that's always where you can kind of check, are these people real or not? Because later, much later, this was in the 90s when this started, right? As soon as people were on the internet, ex-Scientologists talking about it, Yachty got, hired, not hired because he's on staff, but he works with the Office of Special Affairs and got me to open up these phony accounts. But did I know they were stopping free speech on the net? No. Here's how he handled it, just so you know. You don't want to know anything about it. That way, when they get you in deposition, you can say, I don't know. And you don't want to be in deposition forever, do you? And I was like, no. And he's like, you trust me. It's all legal. I'm just going to, basically be opening up these accounts and handling the critics. And when you're in, of course, the critics are so evil, it sounded like a good thing to me. The only difference for me is I went on the internet and started looking because it all started seeming very fishy. And from that, in a very short time, I woke up. I called Bill. I said, I didn't get into Scientology to stop free speech. They attacked me to death, and soon after that, I left. But calling these executives liars is just part of a natural program. You can follow Tori Christman, originally Tori Bazazian, and there's a long-standing program from 2000. Tori's a liar, Tori's a liar, Tori's a liar, Tori's a liar. You know, it's like anybody who is speaking out against Scientology, David Miscavige, the Sea Org, L. Ron Hubbard, they're liars, right? That is their program. So don't these ladies have something else to come up with that's a little bit more, interesting, that could, I'm amazed. They all say the exact same thing. I've looked at every single inch of my husband. Well, let me tell you something. My husband wasn't beat up by David Miscavige. My ex-husband, wasn't even a carpenter or anything. But I know pretty much most of his body, and he had scratches and bruises all the time just from fixing things, chipping things, whatever. So what kind of wimps are these ladies saying their husbands were, that they never had a scratch, not one scratch in 20 years? I'd like to meet a person that never had a scratch in 20 years. I mean, that by itself, I went out to Hollywood last night, and people were like, no way. They're just, they sound so obviously drilled, right? And they're getting attention. They don't have any jobs. That's not true. They do have jobs, and they're not there to get attention. They've run that shit on me too. Oh, she's just speaking out. She's just talking to the media to get attention. What? It's like I don't have a dog in this race. You know what I mean? As far as that, I'm not getting paid. I'm gonna waste my time and hours. Not that it's wasted, but you know what I mean? It's like it takes a lot of time to do this kind of thing. For what? The only reason most of us speak out, anybody I know, is because we don't want more people suckered into this con, right? And we want people to know there's two sides to it. There's a much darker side to it that you will never know. And Anderson, you've only just nicked on a little bit of it. You need to do more, deeper, dig deeper, because this is very, very, very lightweight, basically. It seems kind of heavy, and you brought up a great point. If somebody beats you up, you would definitely call the police and they would kick out the guy. Were these guys kicked out? I don't know. They'll probably say I was kicked out. I wasn't kicked out. I left on my own. And my guess is probably they did too. But now Scientology, to clear their asses, are saying they kicked him out. I don't know. That one I don't know on. But you can check on it. But I'm telling you this. I know it is way deeper. And you need to keep digging. Do another series, please. And to everyone there, I hope that clears it up. Just go type in Tori Christman and look back and see how much stuff has been written about me, about Tori's a liar. My husband made up these flat-out lies about me. I didn't have an affair. Bring over the guy that I had an affair with. I'd like to meet him. I worked all the time that we were married. I was also a mother and am a mother, and I'm very proud of that. I was a good wife and very happily married. I wasn't spending all of his money on QVC. Look at my house. You can see it. I mean, I don't have some elaborate place. What was I spending money on? Look at this necklace. Is this a big, oh my God, she owns all this stuff. It's like, hello. No. So what was the other thing? Oh, yeah, she wanted off her medication. Yeah, I wanted to have the grand mal seizures, so I have absolutely no short-term memory. Yeah, that really works. I fought them for 30 years. He knows it. So he can lie all he wants, but I know the truth and he knows the truth. And that's the bottom line. And you can look up and read and follow and connect the dots. My suggestion to everyone is don't believe anybody, read both sides. And the bottom line is Scientology can't ever say that, because they know if people knew both sides, they'd be on their way. So they'll always say, listen to us, don't talk to them. We say, look at both sides. Find out for yourself. All right? So do that. And remember, Easter is tomorrow, Passover now. Remember love. Spread it. All right? I love you guys. I really do. You are fantastic. Thank you for coming here and have an excellent weekend. Peace out.